Hello, all my lovelies. Welcome to Lair. How are we all doing tonight? Can you guys hear me okay? Hello, all my lovelies. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, hold on. Okay. Where'd we go? Yeah, it says that comments are being deleted. Hold on. Let me try to figure this out real quick. Let me try to figure this out real quick. Because I don't know why comments would be deleted. No, it's not in sub-only mode. I don't know. That's very, very strange. Very, very strange. It's very odd. Okay. So, it deleted what you wrote for me. I don't know why it would be deleting comments. Let me try something on my phone real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Talk amongst yourself. Guys, talk amongst yourself for a minute or two. Let me try to fix this setting real quick. Okay, guys, let's see if this is working. Let's see if this is working, my loves. Night of knee, test yourself out, see if it's applied. And get that checked for me, you guys. And leave me some comments. Let's see if it is still deleting comments. I don't think it should be. I just checked all my settings. Michael Stahl. Talking about ammo. Nee, do you have your wrench? Okay, well, let's see, because I can see. Okay. I think we fixed it. I think we fixed it. I think we fixed it. Woohoo! Thank you for being with me. Okay, guys. So, very little makeup. I apologize for this absolute hot mess look that we have going. Some of you know, some of you don't know. I'm having a few health issues, so not feeling the greatest today. So we're going to do as much as we can today, and then we are going to come back and do more. Zulu, you might have to, I don't know why. It wanted me to confirm something about that it's not for kids. Okay, so to my lovelies, all my beasties, my lovelies, thank you for putting up with me. Yes, you have noticed the hair is different. What do we think? Lots of very, very different hair. Lots and lots of very long, very different hair. So whatever, we're going to go with it. Because we all know here in the Lair, we are a hot mess. But it's okay. Realistic. This is Loki. This is just Loki are getting some days. Okay. Well, yeah, my blood pressure went down a little bit. So, Gremlin King, Knight of an E, I am going to depend on you for this one. So I was not watching this trial. The first I got of this trial is I happened to check in to see what John was doing because I hadn't talked to him all day, and I saw he was live streaming a trial. And I clicked into Loki as an aneurysm on screen. Straight up, Loki is going to have an aneurysm level stupid, like absolute stupid. Thank you, Zulu. This is like mascara, chapstick, and pajamas because I feel like crap. So I did pull up the feed from Law and Crime yesterday because somebody said, I think Gremlin told me, the moron testimony started yesterday with the gun expert. So where do I need to start? Do I need to start with this morning? Do I need to go back to yesterday? What expert? I have it keyed up, and there is some old dude handling a rifle in a box, and then the 12-year-old who has absolutely less of a clue than I just I can't. I mean, he made Daryl Brooks sound intelligent at points, and he's their expert. So, where am I starting? Please tell me where I'm starting. Because I can't do the whole thing like in one sitting. I will die. But we're going to get through some of it because I was losing my ever-loving mind in John's comments. Because that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And I would like to know what box of Cracker Jacks this moron got his firearms education out of. Okay, Michael, is that old dude or dude with the blue mask that I saw today? You know what? I'm going to pull it up over here. We're going to pull this up. We are going to pull this up. And if I have the wrong, I'm pulling up yesterday's. Okay. Is this the right guy? Or are we waiting? Or should I move on to the next one? Shall I move on to the next idiot first? Let me know, guys. Who are we going to for me to lose my mind at? He's the right guy from yesterday. Night of Need. Do I need to go backwards? Or where shall I start this? Gremlin King, somebody. Where do I start this train wreck? Let's see. Do I need to stop the next idiot's the armory guy? He's the guy goofing it yesterday and the guy you were losing it on today. Okay. Okay. Let's see. John's right. The next guy is okay. So we're going to pull up this. Let's adjust the volume. Okay. I have the next guy down. We are going to play this. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio. And we will get into it.
Witness. Yes, sir. This state calls Carlos Herrera.
Is this where we're going, guys? Let's see. Are we at the right point? Let's try. Let's see. I can always come back to this lovely, lovely gentleman tomorrow. But this next one I do know is the one that wanted me to throttle him through the camera earlier.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state and spell your name for the court reporter?
Officer Carlos J. Herrera, New Mexico State Police. Carlos is spelled Carlos. Middle initials J as in John. Last name
Thanks,
is spelled
Rocco.
Herrera.
And you stated that you work for the New Mexico State Police.
That is correct.
Are you a full-time sworn, salaried, and commissioned peace officer, sir?
Yes.
Based
How long have you
on
been with the New Mexico
today,
State
I,
Police?
I
Right
think
about
they
10
might
and a
need
half
to
years.
reevaluate your position.
Did you work in any other law enforcement entity prior to your time with state police?
No.
And what is your current assignment?
Right now, I'm assigned to the Armory at the Law Enforcement Academy.
Okay. Tell us what you do at the Law Enforcement Academy.
Well,
But
I'm in
you're
charge of
teaching
I'm
people
one
shit.
of the 2 armors we have at State Police. So we order
no.
weapons, fix weapons, order ammunition. Matter of fact, I'm in charge of the taser program there as well. There's lots of little things we do, but our main job is supplying the field with the weapons and ammunition and fixing them if they have problems.
Okay. Do you assist with training cadets?
Sometimes, yes.
I
was
wouldn't
your
let you
assignment in
train a
2020?
monkey.
In 2020, I was part of the New Mexico State Police full-time crime scene unit.
Okay. What does the crime scene unit do?
So the State Police crime scene unit, what we do is we investigate and process
Based
scenes
on what
as
I
far
saw
as for
today,
any
I would not let you
violent
train a
crime
monkey.
that we're called out to assist for. So in this case, we were called out to assist the Sandoval County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. How long have you been doing that type of work?
At that time, I was a little over 2 years on the crime scene unit.
And do you have any specialized
And you're in
training
charge.
to be a member of the crime scene unit?
Well, during the time at the crime scene, the first year you're on crime scene, thank you. It's a 1-year FTO program. So for 1 year, you're with a training officer. So you'll get up to 450, 500 hours of training, whether that be on the job training, in-house training from New Mexico State Police, or outside training, going to classes out of state or in state.
So part of the field training is also some classroom component.
Correct.
Okay. Did you participate in training in regards to the collection of evidence?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Why is
Collecting
teaching
evidence on
anybody
scenes is part of
anything?
the crime scene
After
job.
what
So
I saw earlier, this man.
anytime we go to a scene, if we're going to process or collect evidence, we photograph it, right? We package it and then seal it, and then we enter it into our evidence database, so we know exactly what it is, on top of having a photo of exactly what piece of evidence it is.
Okay. And depending on the type of evidence, depends how you process or collect that.
Correct.
Evidence.
Every scene's much different so everything, it's dependent on the scene.
And have you received any training in regards to trajectory?
Yeah, at that point we had received classes on trajectory, so on and so forth.
What is trajectory and what's it used for?
Well, trajectory in this case, well, not in this case, in other cases, or when we're trained, it allows you to get directions of a projectile. So, for example, if a projectile is discharged from a weapon and it hits a wall, depending how it hits a wall or a vehicle, we're able to get some sort of trajectory and angle, and maybe we can get a distance or an angle or how it was fired from that weapon.
Can you also get which is the entry and which is the exit?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to object.
Okay, we're already stopping. We are already stopping. Okay, I don't trust you to teach a monkey to peel a banana based off of what you've said so far. Sir, you can't even explain what trajectory is. You literally cannot explain trajectory. And you want me to listen to anything you have to say? No! What in the egg, Mick? Oh, Jesus Lord. Okay. My lovelies, my beasties. We always have this discussion where I say there are no stupid questions. Everybody starts somewhere. We're not going to shame people for questions. I love you. You're my beasties. We are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to ask questions or clarification. This idiot that's supposed to be the expert, he does not get the same kind of grace. If you hold yourself out to be an expert, I expect that you know your shit. And if you don't, I'm going to call you on it, as are the viewers. Because no.
Just to foundation, I think that we need to hear a little bit more about Officer Herrera's training with regard to trajectory.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Go ahead and ask those questions.
So tell us about the classes that you did in regards to trajectory.
So the trajectory class, this one was an in-house class by state police officers who have been on the crime scene unit for a while. Most of them are
No. Bad. Bad state police. Bad. No. You didn't even go to like the FBI's ballistics academy. You didn't take classes. The NRA has ballistics and trajectory classes. Just no. No. Okay. So, did you get your certificates out of a box of Aldi's off-brand Cracker Jacks? Because that's what I'm hearing right now. Literally, that is what I am hearing. You went to Aldi's, you found the off-brand box of Cracker Jacks, and that's where you located your education? Oh, Jesus Lord. Okay. So, trajectory is literally following the path of something. Generally a bullet or a shell casing. Be it through the wall, into a person, just in general where it goes. What kind of education do I have? I have extensive education in physics, differential equations, calculus, engineering, classes through Barrett, the NRA, and several other Department of Justice classes on trajectory, ballistics. No, this like, hey, I'm gonna find the old dude who is like 65, senile, and about to retire, and he's gonna teach me what I need to know. No, sir.
are experts in this field, and they teach us as far as in class trajectory. We actually go out to a range. We'll shoot a car or a door, and they'll show us how to put a rod through it and get an angle. I've also taken a class with Mike Haig. He's based out of Albuquerque. He has a company that specializes in trajectory. So taking his class, in this class, they teach you everything from, using your f-stop, which is basically utilizing your camera to get the best picture, utilizing it at nighttime.
Did you take a class in
daytime,
photography
what are you
or
taking a
ballistics
picture
and
of?
trajectory?
This whole room, are you getting a close-up? There's many
now you're
variables to
testifying to
camera.
knowing how to use a camera.
There's a lot to learn, but we learned it. If we take a picture at nighttime, how do we get a picture, especially when there's no ambient light, to, make it look like it's daytime. And there's the stuff you can do with the
You
camera
set up
help you with that.
floodlights.
How many
And
crime
scene
scenes have you worked that
lights.
involved photography?
This isn't rocket science.
I think I worked 150 plus cases. I don't know, 140 of them. We're always taking photographs. Somebody's always taking photographs.
What's the process for taking
Is
photographs of a scene?
this
Well,
art class
So the initial
or
photography of a scene
ballistics?
is getting your initial photos. So in this case, Edgar,
No. We secure the scene so we have integrity. We secure the scene before we move anything. And before you feel the need to opine on you took a class of how to take a picture at night, no. You secure the scene, no one moves anything. You start at the beginning, as few people as humanly possible, enter your scene so it's not contaminated, and you take pictures. You also put cones over projectiles, casings, and things you find on the ground so you don't accidentally bump them while you're taking the pictures, and we don't screw this up. Photography or ballistics and trajectory. You do jack shit at a crime scene until the experts, who aren't you, document with photos. Firearms and ballistics experts do not do the initial photo documentation. It is not my job to take pictures. You are not an Instagram model. These are not selfies. You don't take the pictures.
Lemus was assigned to take photos, so he took photos of the scene, which are overviews, just to show the scene as is, without anything being touched or photographed by me or anything. So we just take overview photos of the entire
But
scene.
you just opined that you know how to
before we
take
actually
photos.
move in and start
So why does he
processing the
need to
scene.
take photos?
So do you do overall photos, mid-range, and then close-ups?
Correct.
Have you undergone training in regards to blood pattern?
Yes, there is BPA, blood pattern
that would be
analysis
called
training as
blood
well.
spatter
Tell us about that.
analysis, not
The
blood
BPA
pattern.
training is another in-house training that's done by another agent who is also an expert in this. And, it's, believe, a 2-week training course. And then there's
2 weeks, not enough time. Not enough time. Again, did you stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night instead of taking academic classes? Because that's what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that the old dude taught you like a game of telephone. What I'm hearing is you stayed in a Holiday Inn Express last night or for 2 weeks, and that's how you know. What I am hearing is you stayed in a Holiday Inn Express.
more training on top of that.
Muffin knows this
And
shit.
it allows us to learn how to look for blood, what blood tells you as far as the scene. Was blunt force trauma, was there a
Blood spatter analysis has nothing to do with trajectory and is a separate branch of forensic science. Not the branch you're in, sir. And many courts have started throwing out blood spatter analysis because it has been deemed not highly reliable. But blood spatter and ballistics, no. No. Blame you all for getting me into this. Just no.
A high-powered weapon used? Did the person fall? The blood will tell you the story of what happened sometimes.
It will
depending on the
not. That's
case.
why
Okay.
it's
And how many
widely
crime scenes have you worked
disregarded.
that involved blood pattern?
At least
I think
50
he
to
has
75. I don't know off
some
the top of my head.
certificates from a box of all
And
these
have you received any
off-brand Cracker Jacks.
certifications related to your
Hi,
field?
John. I blame you.
Yeah, we get certificates that we've completed those fields,
My
satisfactory.
kid got one in preschool that
when
said she
before
was
we're
the
able to
star of the
go on
day.
to crime scene
That doesn't make
and
me an
become a crime
expert.
scene manager.
Doesn't make her
And
an
have you
expert in
successfully
being
completed
good.
all of those certifications?
At that time, I did, yes.
Okay. And have you attended any additional or national trainings related to criminalistics?
I went to a crime scene course, crime scene management course in
Forensic.
Hobbs, and then I took a Mike Hagg's course in California. That was based off trajectory. That was a trajectory course.
So you have no physics training. You have no training in physics or fluid dynamics. You have no. Danny, so you would disregard it and it's not useful, but 2 weeks is not long enough. I'm so confused by what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying, Danny, is I am saying that many departments and many courts have started to either exclude or minimize blood spatter evidence because the science behind it is highly variable and it wasn't statistically as reliable as once thought. So what I'm saying is, regardless, 2 weeks is not enough. I believe in certain circumstances it's great. I'm just saying that hanging your hat on blood spatter analysis when many industry recognized experts have started to discount it is probably not your greatest idea. So let me know if that clears it up. 2 weeks is not enough. You need to know fluid dynamics. You need pathophysiology, physiology, anatomy, more physics, calculus. There's a lot more you need. But what I am saying is it's not considered the most scientifically reliable anymore. It doesn't carry the weight that it once did, and there are better ways to get answers. Danny, I can gladly clear anything else up. Just let me know.
How many major crime scene investigations have you been the lead on?
Probably about 5.
And how many times have you had to testify in court for those major crime scene investigations?
I think 3. This is the 3rd one.
Okay. How many major crime scene investigations have you been secondary or assisted on?
30, 40. I mean, a bunch.
Before we get into this scene, can you just tell the jury what's the first step that the state police does when they arrive to a scene to process it? After you get a warrant, of course.
So when the state police gets called to process a scene, the crime scene manager, and every scene has a different crime scene manager. So in this case, I was a crime scene manager, so I let Agent Lemus know at the time, excuse me, that he was going to take all the photos. So what he does is we don't enter the scene.
They don't
we
tell
don't
you
touch
what
the
they're
scene at
doing.
all. He'll go and take all his overview photos of the entire scene. We don't touch any evidence. We don't look for evidence at that time. This is just overview photos of the scene. And the reason we do that is just in case, if a piece of evidence is accidentally kicked or moved or somehow, gets run over by a car, when we go in, we look at the overviews before and we know it was right there, right? We don't take any cars in. So that's why we parked outside of the gate, and Agent Lemus took all his overview photos before we entered the scene.
Okay, well, let's talk about February 29th then. Tell us what happened. How did you get notified?
Usually this time, my supervisor at the time called me and said that there was a scene in San Luis, New Mexico, and it would be a death investigation. And it was off of US 550, but the problem was there was no address and there was no cell phone service.
Snoopy
So
Mom,
trying
trajectory
to
is
get there would
different
be
than
hard. So we had to wait for
ballistics.
deputies. I
They're
think
two
the intersection
separate
of
things.
US 550 and
I
State
don't know
Road
why
79,
he's
279.
What
trying
time
to
did
make
you
it
receive
one.
that call?
Probably like 8:30, and I probably arrived there by about 10.
Were you at home when you received this call?
Yes.
What information did you have about the call?
The only information I received at the time when I was going down there, so I was given a contact for Lieutenant Frank Thomason at the time, who was the point of contact for me. So I contacted him, and he advised me that there was a death investigation at a property in a mobile home. And
Did they tell you how to set the lights up, since you
that,
already testified that
he was
you
told
class on
that
lights and
the
photography?
victim, there was a deceased male inside the house, and the person in this case said that he shot him in self-defense because he had been maced.
So you have this information, and then do you remember what time you met at that meetup spot?
About 10.
10 p.m.
Yes.
Why? Why
And
does that
from the
have,
meetup spot,
what does
what
it have to
happened?
do with the price of rice?
So
and
once I got to the
China?
meetup spot, usually, it takes a while to get a search warrant. So we just waited there until we got a search warrant because we had service there. So I needed to get a copy emailed to me so I could print it out. And then we could review the warrant and then print it out. So if I went to the scene before that, I wouldn't have had that. There's no cell phone service, so I couldn't print it out. So we waited there till about, I believe it was 12:30 on the morning of March 1st. The warrant came in, and then we reviewed it. It was signed by the judge, and then this sudden wind, but it was just a cold, cold night.
Okay. So who arrived with you?
So at the meeting point of 550 and US State Road 279, or State Road 279, it was Agent Edgar Lemus and Agent Michael Bogue met up with us there. And then we all proceeded down to the scene together.
What was Agent Bogue's role in this investigation?
I believe I had tasked her with scanning the scene with the Leica scanner.
You gonna explain the scanner?
So when you arrive on scene, can you tell us what your observations were?
So when we arrived on scene, I know there was
You gonna
a
explain
white
the
pickup
scanner
truck,
that you
I
just
believe
like
a
name
Ram
dropped?
pickup truck that was parked near like a gate. There wasn't really there wasn't a gate, but there was a fence post that kind of showed where the property line was. It was parked there. It was off. And from that point on, after Edgar Lemus took his initial photographs, overviews, after he was complete, then we entered the scene.
Okay. Can you tell us what happened when you entered the scene?
So after Edgar Lemus took his initial photos, then we do what's called a walkthrough of the scene. So
Okay.
we're gonna look through the entire scene. In this case, the property inside the mobile home to see, what happened or what
No,
evidence
we're
is
not
inside.
gonna all take a walkthrough
Um,
because then we're gonna
And
contaminate
that
a
was
crime
myself,
scene.
Agent Bogue, and I believe.
So no,
Sergeant
what we're
Griffin at
not
the
gonna
time.
do is that. We're not taking a field trip to contaminate crime scenes. That's what
Tell
we're
us
not
about the
gonna
walkthrough.
do.
What do you see when you walk up to the property?
So we walked up to the property. It was super dark. I don't remember if there was power to the mobile home. I don't remember, but it was really dark. We have flashlights. So I remember walking up to the mobile home, and Sergeant Griffin at the time was pointing out stuff to me that they had seen because they were the initial responders. And then so there was a
How to
rifle,
screw up a crime scene
AR-15 type
101.
rifle laying outside the porch. It was leaned up against the stairway.
Why don't you have
and
scene lighting?
the magazine had been removed from that weapon, and it was put on one of the steps. And that was outside.
Okay. I know. Okay. Guys, please tell me if I'm a moron. Did I just hear this idiot say that they'd already removed the magazine from the weapon while it was still there? But we haven't properly. So you screwed up evidence because who removed the magazine? Who thought it was a good idea to tamper with a crime scene that's not? Sir, no,
Outside the residence?
Correct.
What happened next?
So once we did a walk through the outside, then we went inside. Let me back up a little bit. Sergeant Griffin had pointed out to me that there were some defects on the exterior of the porch. So just for like further, for future thought that there was defects outside. So we saw those, went inside.
What's a defect? Explain to the jury what you mean what a defect is.
A defect is, in this case, there was a holes in the side of the porch. It could have, like, that's what we like.
No. A defect is something other than the normal hole, little groove where something ricocheted, place where paint's missing, not just the gunshot, not just the hole. It's anything that's not normal is the defect. I know that's hard to grasp.
I like to call it a defect. So in trajectory, if a projectile goes through a wall, we'll call that a defect. Okay. But in this case, I didn't know at the time, so I just called it a defect. That's why.
Okay. So you went inside the residence. What did you observe?
I observed one of the residents. It was really cold in there, super dark. I don't remember if there's electricity. There's no heat inside.
Well, you took a class on lighting.
Remember, if you go left, there's to the main door. You go left, there's the living room area. There were some beds, a fireplace, and then walked around there, and then we made our way back towards the front door into the room in the front of the mobile home. And when I went into the room, that's where I saw a deceased male laying face down on the floor.
How many bedrooms did this residence have?
Oh, I saw one. I don't remember any other bedrooms. It's been a while.
Okay. And do you know how many exit doors there were on this residence?
I believe there was one, at least two.
Let's back up a little bit. Are you familiar with mace?
Yes.
Have you been maced before?
Yes.
How many times?
I've been maced.
No. You were OC sprayed. You were not maced. You were OC sprayed, not maced. We don't use mace. We use Oresio capsaicin spray. OC spray.
Once, but so in the training academy, we go and watch recruits or any law enforcement officer who's coming through the law enforcement academy, whether it be state police or any other departments, they get maced outside. And so
we get OC sprayed once a year. Peterson, yeah, CS is the same thing as the Oresio capsaicin spray. You get sprayed yearly, not maced. OC or CS sprayed yearly.
I've been maced once myself in the academy, but I've actually gotten, sprayed from the wind going the wrong way as I'm watching them. So that's but directly in the face just once.
Okay. How does mace work?
So mace is what they call an inflammatory. What it does is, so I remember,
It is not an inflammatory. An inflammatory is something that causes a direct immune response from the body that causes inflammation. OC spray and CS spray are an irritant. Irritant, not inflammatory. It's a chemical that irritates the mucous membrane and makes your nose run snot and your eyes run. And no, not an irritant. There is no immune response. It's an irritant. It is not an inflammatory.
you go when it was time for me to get mace in recruit school, they tell you to close your eyes. They spray you with the mace. You don't open your eyes right away. So you start breathing in, you start coughing. And then you start like I remember it was hard to breathe. And then they say, open your eyes. And once you open your eyes, it's like fire.
Because you're a bitch. You're being a little bitch.
I've seen people fight through it just fine. I've seen people drop to the ground and just start screaming because it's horrible. But the reason they do that at the law enforcement academy is to let you know, hey, this is what it feels like. So if you were to get maced, this is how you would fight through it. But it's
OC sprayed.
Yeah, it's hard and it burns for a long time.
Stop conflating two different things.
How many times would
STFU,
you
yeah, it can
estimate
be
you
an
get
inflammatory
present
if you have an
when mace is
allergic
used?
reaction, but
Just a
it's
half dozen.
not
at the academy.
classified as an inflammatory. It's
about other
classified as an
times?
irritant
I can't
that
recall.
can
any
cause
other
an
times.
inflammatory
Can you
reaction
describe
if
the
you
scent
have.
to the jury?
It's hard to describe. It's like if you inhale pepper, right? You want to.
Yeah,
like me,
because
if I inhale pepper,
oregano
I'll want to
capsaicin,
sneeze and
which
cough.
it's
If you
made out
multiply
of,
that times 1,000,
is
you get it in your
pepper
eyes.
oil.
You'll immediately know if you go in a house that's where there's pepper spray present, or you've been sprayed, or it's there. You're gonna know the scent, and if it's still strong, you're gonna start coughing and you need to get out of there.
How long does the odor last for?
It depends. It could be an hour. It could be
It doesn't have its
2
own
hours. I don't. It
smell.
just depends.
Does the smell get on clothing?
It
Yes.
doesn't have
And
a
to back up
smell.
one time, I do recall that our SWAT team did have to use their OC gas canisters inside a small camper. It was a small little travel trailer. And the suspect eventually came out, but I had to process it.
I'm just going to object to relevance.
I'm going to object to the fact that you're a goddamn moron.
Canister is something that's being used by the SWAT team. I don't think that's mace, and I don't think this is relevant.
Let's keep it with mace.
Yes, sir. I'll just move on. Let's talk a little bit about this. So, in your observations watching cadets be maced, what's their first reaction?
They scream.
And then what's their next reaction? Do they rub their eyes? Do they?
Well, in this case, they're trying to get a suspect that's in a suit under control. So,
In your observations,
the initial reaction is either to try to open your eyes and get it out, or just fight your way through it.
What is the effect of water with mace?
So
It's oil based, so not a
we
whole
were
lot,
told
and it's OC.
that you do not want to wash your
Objection,
face.
hearsay.
You don't want to wash your face.
Objection, hearsay.
Let me rephrase this.
It's oil based.
In your training at the academy, how does water affect mace?
It'll react.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
It'll reactivate it. Is what it'll do.
I'm sorry?
It'll reactivate it.
It won't reactivate it.
How long do
It
the
just
effects
spreads
of
it
mace
around because
typically
it's
last?
oil.
When I got maced, it was at least a day or two before I was normal again.
15 minutes, you're fine.
What are the
A
physical
day or two?
characteristics
No.
on somebody's person if they've been maced?
Redness
No.
in the face.
You literally take your
And
hands,
your eyes
go like
are
this,
swollen.
scrape your fingers across your face, go like that so most of it comes off,
And
and you
in
man
the
up.
times that you were present when mace was sprayed or you observed it, is there typically an excess that will drip out of the can?
Sometimes, yes, depending on what type of canister you're
Now
using.
you're an expert in canisters. Okay,
And I don't
great.
know if you're familiar with any store-bought cans of mace. Are you familiar with that?
No, not to the best, no.
Only
Just
those.
just the ones that are provided to the law enforcement academy.
Okay. When you entered the residence, did you smell anything that smelled like mace?
It
I
doesn't
did
have a
not.
scent.
And
It smells like
were the
buffalo
doors
wings. Go
open
to
or
Buffalo
closed when you
Wild
arrived?
Wings.
When I arrived, I believe the door was
It smells
open.
like red hot.
which door?
The front door.
And are you talking about the front porch or the door to the manufactured home?
The door, to the best of my knowledge, again, it's been 3 years. I think the front door, not the
I
door
know
to the
people
porch,
that have
but the door to
sprayed
the
it on their
mobile home was
food.
open a little bit.
So you were telling us about Agent Lemus's overall photos, and those are the photos you said were taken prior to anyone touching the scene. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, what am I looking at? Are these the, oh, so they haven't been admitted yet?
No.
No, we haven't seen them.
You literally just wipe the excess off your face and you man up, and in like
Can you give me a
15
moment
minutes,
to
you're
number these,
fine.
sir?
Your tears and the snot dripping down your
When
face
you entered the
clear it out
residence, I'll continue to
just
ask you
fine from your
questions.
mucous membranes.
Was there any heat?
No, not that I remember. It was cold inside that house.
What was the ventilation like?
I don't think there was any. Again, I don't even know if there was power to that residence, but
I'm going to object to foundation and relevance. Ventilation in the building, if this gentleman.
Syndicate leader, it depends, but all it is capsaicin. OC stands for oresio capsaicin. It's capsaicin oil in varying strengths that's put into an aerosol canister. It's literally just chemical pepper,
And Your
hot
Honor, he
pepper
testified
oil
that he
in a
went into the trailer,
spray.
so he would know.
That's why I say it
I'm-
smells like Buffalo Wild
And it
Wings.
is relevant if Mr. Cummings is claiming that he was maced.
He can testify as to how he found the mobile home
SDFU, yeah.
and what the
Go-
condition was with respect to ventilation. when
Go
he-
get some habaneros and
entered
toss
the
them on the
house.
stove. When you're
Or that
cooking the
mobile home.
habaneros,
Yes,
it's
sir.
the same thing. It has the same
What
effect.
was how long did you spend on scene there?
Like when you're cooking habaneros and your eyes burned.
I don't actually remember the exact time. It could have been 8-10 hours. I don't remember the exact time. It was a while.
Then you're sure as
You were
shit
there a
can't
while.
still
What was the
smell it and it can't
ventilation like
affect
while
you.
were there?
I didn't notice any type of ventilation at all.
You're an idiot. Who let you get up there?
When you were there, did you notice if any of the windows were open?
I do not recall. I don't remember.
Actually, Night of Knee, flash from an arc welder will blind you for like
Your Honor, may I
24
approach?
hours. It's far worse. It's not that he has me wound. It's just the amount of fucking incompetence. Like, can we please get through 2 sentences without being so far gone and so wrong that I feel like I should be drunk? Croco, if you need prep to explain your credentials and how OC spray works, you're licking windows. And I hate to break it to you, blue Windex is not blue raspberry flavor. Hey guys, while they figure out their evidence, if you wouldn't do me a favor and like and subscribe, share, ring the bell, all the YouTubey things I'm
Officer,
supposed
in
to
those
tell you to
exhibits that I
do.
handed
Please,
you, do you
please,
recognize
please. It
those?
helps more than you
Yes.
know.
What are those?
These are photos taken of the scene.
And were you present when these photos were taken?
Yes, I was, yes.
And did you direct Agent Lemus what photos to take?
Not specifically what photos
Why
to take,
not?
but to
You're
take
the
all scene
manager of the
photographs.
crime scene. That's your job.
Do those photos appear to be the ones taken by Agent Lemus on the date of this incident?
I
Yes,
wouldn't object either because
March
dude is
26th.
making their case for them.
yes.
Your Honor, the state moves admission of exhibits 36 to 56.
I could literally get everything he's looked at or I've seen him talk about so far
And
tossed.
permission to publish? I'm putting under the document camera State's Exhibit 36.
What are you trying to show me here?
And sir, could you please describe what this photograph is?
That looks like an overview photo of the actual scene, the residents at the scene.
And I'm putting under the document camera State's Exhibit 37. What is this a photograph of?
That's another angle of the residence where the scene was located.
And if you know, whose vehicle is that?
It belonged to Mr. Ariola.
Where's your crime scene tape?
Document camera State's Exhibit 38. What is this a photograph
Where are
of,
your
sir?
It's
markers?
another photo of the Mr.
Where's your
Ariola's
tape and
pickup
where are
truck
your
parked
markers?
next to the front porch of the residence.
That you've secured this
And what is
for
the item
photo
on the front porch?
documentation.
To the left, leaning on the stairs, is a rifle, AR-15.
And is
How do you
that
know that's what it is from right
where
there?
you located the rifle when you first arrived on scene?
Yes.
I'm putting under State's Exhibit 39. What is this a picture of?
That is a picture of the outside porch screen door, and then the other door inside is the actual door to the mobile home that's open.
And is this the door that you entered through?
Yes, those are the doors that we entered through.
Now I'm putting under the document camera exhibit.
Let's maybe turn the picture. I mean,
Can you describe this photograph?
That's the door that leads into the residence, the mobile home. That's a picture from inside the porch. Taking a photograph of the door that we entered through in the mobile home, and then again the bathroom, the restrooms on the other side of that hallway.
So when you enter into this door, where was the decedent found?
So if you go through the front door or the main door here,
where are your markers? Where are your markers? Where is your crime scene tape? Why are we walking through a crime scene that is not preserved and documented? Why? Just why? Because nothing that you get from there now is going to be fucking useful. And it's magazine, not clip.
And you take an immediate right, there's a room right there. And that's where the decedent was found.
Am I back in like 8th grade that we have an overhead projector?
Document camera, State's Exhibit 41.
Ooh, look, a garbage can. Great.
What is this a photograph of?
So from the previous photo, like if you took a right, it took you to the room where the decedent was located. If you went left, then you went into the living room area. And that's a picture of the living room area.
And I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 42. What is this a photograph of?
It's another photograph of the living room area showing the other door open on the other side of the mobile home.
So that's the other exit to this mobile home.
Yes.
And I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 43.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you going to open the
That's
fridge and
the,
show me
kitchen
what's in there
area
next?
inside the mobile home.
And I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 44.
That's a different view of the kitchen area.
Ooh,
showing
look, a
the-
can of Arizona green iced
basically where the
tea.
table's at, where
Let's
the
point that out
stove's at in
too.
relation to the door, the main door that we entered through.
And have you processed scenes where there was an altercation or a fight before?
Yes.
How many times?
Right off the top of my head, maybe
What's this?
3
It's
or
a
4.
tabletop made out of green tile. Like,
What are common things that you observe in a room when there's a fight?
Stuff gets moved around, stuff gets broken.
stuff.
Did you observe
Stuff gets broken. Stuff also gets broken when you lead a field trip of idiots through a fucking crime scene.
any of that here?
In this case, to the best of my knowledge, I didn't notice anything that was broken inside the residence or the room that I can recall.
Yes, sir. So I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 45. What is that a photograph of?
That's a photograph of the room where the decedent was located.
Why is he not there?
In this photograph?
He is. His legs are at the bottom of the photo. He's wearing some brown winter coveralls.
Okay.
And I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 46. What is this a photograph of?
That's the photograph of the same room where the decedent was located.
Not properly
And that's the decedent in the
documented,
photo.
but
face
photographed,
down.
and y'all are
This is
up
the
in
room
there
as you
screwing up
found
this
it when you
crime
guys
scene.
entered the scene.
Correct. These are all the overview pictures taken by Agent Lemus.
I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 47. What is this, sir?
It looks the same room where the decedent is located. Looks like a sheet on a bed, and then the carpet underneath it looks like it's been folded up.
And I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 48. What is this?
It's the same room. That's the bed that's on the other side of the wall, and the white sheet jackets hung up, and that same plastic tote next to the bed.
Right here.
Yes.
And I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 49. Let me move the other one. What is this a photograph of?
It's the picture of the same bed in the previous photo, just from a different angle. Shows like a little light at the top.
And I'm putting under the document camera, State's Exhibit 50. What is this a photograph of?
Those are the bunk beds located inside the room, again, taken from a different angle inside the room. And the decedent is located at the bottom right.
One hell of a tidy crime scene if there's supposed to
Yes,
be
that's the same
extensive
tote.
blood evidence.
And I'm putting under the document camera State Exhibit 51.
Hi, Night of Knee. Bye. I'll catch you
Yes.
later.
Same room, just a different angle,
We'll do
Um,
more of this tomorrow.
showing the decedent in relation to where the door to the room's at.
And can you point to us where that tote was, the rubber tote?
The rubber tote,
Yes,
Where's
sir.
my blood pool?
the silver one?
Yes, sir. You can point on the camera, on the, this, yeah. Let's touch it. Okay, and where are the clothing that was hanging on the wall in the other photograph?
It was just right behind it on the wall.
Can you point to it on the photograph first?
Probably, if this is the wall, probably right here.
If you're that far into the room, where's your
The clothing was still
documentation
hanging there when
markers
you processed the scene?
As is, yeah. that's
that
how we
you've
got it when
ruined
we
the
got
crime scene for?
I'm putting under the document camera State Exhibit 52. What is this a photograph of?
That's a photograph of the decedent lying face down in that room.
And where's that rubber tote in relation to this?
It's right next to his head.
And I'm putting under the document camera State Exhibit 53. What is this a photograph of?
Just pretty much the same photo, just a different angle showing the decedent laying face down next to the gray tote with his head pretty much almost leaning on the tote itself.
And
Can we at least
Is there
use
also a hat in this
anatomical
picture?
terms
There
when we're
is,
going
it's
to
right-
describe
Right above
something?
his head, a white hat, a white ball cap.
Victim in supine position, victim prone position.
I'm putting under the document.
Can we use terms that are scientifically relevant and appropriate?
What is this a photograph of?
That's a picture of the decedent's right hand. That's where we found what looked to be a black canister or a black bottle of pepper spray or mace.
Right, because at no point while he was dead would he have dropped it.
What is this a photo of?
That's the same photo, just in another photo, but just more of a close-up. And that shows the can of mace in the decedent's hand.
Can you describe
Facing the wrong
head of
way.
mace to us?
It's just, it looks like I don't know exactly what brand it was, where it's purchased from, but based off the way it is in the hand, it looks like the nozzle is facing backwards. So it's not facing the right direction.
So the way it's in his hand, would it be facing Mr. Adiola?
Yes.
Did he spray himself?
Can you also describe what's on the nozzle or sprayer?
It looks like dirt or buildup of some sort from.
Oh,
just
please
looks like dirt
speculate.
buildup. I'm not too
Speculate
sure,
as
but
to what
that's
that is.
That's what it looks like.
Please.
How long did you spend the majority of your time in that bedroom?
Yes,
How long do you think you spent in that bedroom?
a good 5 hours at least.
Can you please describe to the jury the bedroom, the size dimensions if you can?
It was a small room for having 2 bunk beds and then another bed on the corner, 3 beds in a small
Mods,
room. It
please
was,
get
it
rid of
was
the
a
porn bot.
very small room.
What would be the size?
8 by 8, 8 by 10, I'd be guessing, but it was a small room.
If you were in there for 4 hours, you have measurements,
How many people
especially
were able to
if
fit
you
in
were
that room while you
fucking
processed
the
it?
manager of this
well,
crime scene.
In this case, I let Agent Lemus do his stuff first, and then I would go in there and do my stuff because we were too close together trying to take our photographs, my photographs and his photographs at the same time, because there was not nearly enough room to be around doing that.
Why? Why not? I mean, you already have a party screwing
I'm
up the
gonna put
crime
under the
scene, so
document
why not
camera.
just turn it into a goddamn rave while we're at it? Mosh pit.
What is this a photograph of?
That's a photograph of the AR-15 rifle that was located outside the residence on the porch area.
What are those little green markers?
So whenever we take photos
Evidence
of evidence,
markers.
when we're entering it,
Two
we always take photos
words.
with the green marker.
Evidence
That allows us to
marker.
know which piece of
I
evidence
don't
is
need you to
what.
editorialize. She
So we
said,
don't
"What
enter
are
it
they?"
incorrectly. So in
Not
this
give me
case,
your
when
dissertation.
we go back to our photos, G1 meaning green 1 would be the rifle. G2 or green 2 would mean the magazine itself. So that way, if we have to review our photos to remember which piece of evidence is what, we have a photograph of it.
I don't need you to editorialize or give a dissertation. They are evidence markers. That's all you say.
And I'm going to put under the document camera. It's been admitted as State's Exhibit 55.
I'm going to go back to the bullshit
Um,
picture.
What does the debris on the nozzle indicate to you?
Objection,
foundation.
speculation. He has no fucking clue.
Ms. Walker.
Your Honor, may we apart?
Hang on, let me make sure that there are any other things I want to object to.
Your Honor, may we apart?
Me.
Who thought this was a good idea? Who thought this was a good idea? Who put this man on a stand? Literally, all I hear in my head is do 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 do. Like that's all I can hear right now. If I'm the defense, I have every single piece of evidence up until now thrown out. And from the short part I saw today, I'm getting that chucked too. Guys, if me taking a sip of tea is bothering you, let me know and I'll mute it before I take a sip again.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
I'm handing you a mark for identification purposes. It's state 57 or 77.
Here, look at these pictures that you have no clue what's in them. Just let me know how you don't know
Can you
what's in
please
these
look through those
pictures.
photos, sir?
Yes.
Go ahead, flip through these photos like Daryl Brooks did the goddamn Bible and pretend you have any clue what's in them.
Did you review the exhibit states 57 through 77, sir?
I did.
And do you recognize them?
Yes.
What is it?
Those are photos taken of the scene.
How do you know?
These are taken by Agent Lemus.
How do you know?
And do they appear to be a fair and accurate representation of the scene that day?
Yes.
How do you know they're the pictures he took?
Your Honor, the state moves admission of estates exhibits 57 through 77.
Objection. How do you know those are the photos he took?
No objection.
Okay, they'll be admitted.
Real quick though, Judge, can we approach again?
You may.
They are making Daryl Brooks's box fort look like a good tactic. What kind of kangaroo court is this?
Okay. Agent Herrera, let's go through these photos again.
Okay.
So, tell us how you process a crime scene in which a firearm is used.
So what we'll do is we'll photograph the firearm. So if the firearm's left on scene, we'll photograph it as is, where it's at, so on and so forth, take photos of it. And then after we got all our photos of it, we'll then retrieve it.
Uh-huh.
I believe the term you are looking for, sir, is in situ. We take photographs of the scene with the firearms and all other evidence in situ.
We'll take it to usually our crime scene van, and then we'll process it there under better lighting conditions, so on and so forth. We'll take a picture of the gun, all four, depending on how many sides it is, 4 sides. We'll take a picture of the serial number, the make, the model, the caliber. we'll remove the magazine. If there's a magazine inside, we'll photograph the magazine to see if there's any ammunition loaded inside the magazine. And then what we'll do is we'll unload the weapon. So we'll, to see if there was one actually chambered inside the weapon
One
itself.
what?
So sometimes there
A
is, sometimes
midget?
there's not.
A
So
leprechaun.
what are the pieces that you're looking for
One
when
what?
there's an investigation involving a firearm? What are the components?
Usually we're looking for the gun itself, right? The magazine, the ammunition used, any spent casings that might be on scene.
Okay. Can you describe to the jury what a spent casing is?
So whenever a weapon is fired, whether it be a handgun, an automatic weapon, not a revolver, but a handgun or an AR-15 type rifle, whenever
Sir, you are not processing crime scenes with automatic weapons. If an automatic weapon's present, you're calling ATF. You mean semi-automatic, not automatic. I know in your little pea-headed brain they're the same, but they're not.
there's a round discharge from that rifle, it's going to extract the casing and it's going to fly out either to the right or to the left, depending on what type of weapon you're using.
No, it is not. It is not. No. No. Just no.
And it's going to fall on the ground, and that's what we call a spent casing, a fired casing.
And what is a projectile?
A projectile is so you got a bullet, right? And on the front of the bullet, it's the piece of copper, depending what.
You're fucking kidding me. You don't know the term for slug. You don't know how to say it is the slug, the projectile. You are telling me it's the bullet, and you know the front part of the bullet. Okay.
What type of bullet is. It could be, I mean, there's so many different types, but the projectile is the actual piece that's fired out of the rifle itself through the barrel, and that's what impacts doors or so on and so forth.
Your Honor, the state moves admission of exhibits 57 through 77.
Yeah.
They've been admitted, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Sorry. I'm getting sidetracked here. Alrighty.
You're getting sidetracked. Your
I'm putting underneath the
your
document.
expert doesn't know the word.
Can you describe what this photograph depicts, sir?
Looks like there's we like to use disposable rulers, I guess, on the decedent's clothing, and it looks like there's a defect on the side of the clothing itself, some sort of defect from something.
Okay. I'm putting underneath the document camera states exhibit 58.
I
What is that a
cannot with
photograph
this
of?
man.
That's for a close-up of the previous photo of the defect located on the clothing of
I
the
cannot with
decedent.
this man.
And tell us about the body. Who processes the body of Mr. Adiola?
So whenever we go to a scene where they're involving any type of death, we never touch the body. We don't take anything off the body. We don't move it. We don't roll it over. OMI has strict authority over that body. So whoever the person in charge of OMI comes that day, after we're done processing the scene and it's okay for them to come and, take their photographs, look what they need to look for, then OMI will go ahead and move the body and look for anything, they can find prior to being shipped off to Albuquerque to be, to have an autopsy.
Okay. And was that done here?
Yes.
So you guys take the overall photographs and then OMI takes their portion and then you continue to process the scene. Is that how it works?
Correct. And we'll take photographs with OMI, but again, we don't manipulate the body at all until OMI gets there.
Okay. I'm putting underneath the document camera states State Exhibit 59. What is this a photograph of?
That's a photograph of the scene after the decedent was transported out of the trailer. That's what underneath there you see the spent shell, fired casings and the blood underneath the decedent along with his hat.
Can you please circle for the jury where the spent casings were?
There's
Seriously, my man.
I'm putting underneath the document camera State Exhibit. Sorry, is that all of it?
that I can see. Yes, that I can see. Yes.
And in this photograph, in relation to the bedroom, where was the plastic bin at?
The plastic bin after we processed the photos, the gray plastic bin everybody saw was located right here.
So I'm putting underneath the document camera State Exhibit 60.
I can't with this dude. I cannot. This is literally one of the dumbest people I have ever listened to testify as an expert in my life. Like, this is the dumbest expert witness I think I've ever. Sir, just, in the words of Judge Mann, just go ahead and put yourself on mute right now. Just go ahead and put yourself on mute. This man would not stand a chance in hell of getting any of this evidence in, because I'll get it thrown out. I will get everything from this crime scene thrown out. You have a rubber tote that is sufficient enough that you have blood pooling around the outside, but yet you have spent shell casings underneath the tote that is flush with the floor. So please tell me how they got there. Because in proper crime scene documentation and analysis, we mark them where they are. We don't just pick up a tote and let them roll like 6 inches and then take a picture of them in the new location. How?
What is this a photograph of?
Another fired casing found on scene.
Spent, not fired. Spent, sir.
Was this the only
your big
fired
boy
casing
words.
on that side of the room?
Did I remember? Yes. Did I recall?
How many casings were in the bed? Spent casings were there in the bedroom?
I believe there was 10 or 11. I don't remember the exact number, but it was right around 10 or 11.
Looking at your report, refresh your memory.
Actually, the evidence list, if you have it, would actually help me.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, may I?
Ms. Walker, can I see what you're going to show him? Just because I think there's a couple of different things.
Sir, what would refresh your memory?
Um,
What would you
So
refer
whenever
of
we-
what?
enter evidence, we'll enter it as a fired casing. So that
What would refresh your memory of what? Of what? What can't you remember? Chat, please, please help me here. I can't. I can't. Oh my God. How much longer does this idiot have?
that way, if I have the evidence list,
The evidence list.
wherever it says a fired casing, I'll just count all those and that'll tell me how many we retrieved from the scene.
All casings have been fired. Otherwise, they're bullets. If it hasn't been fired, it's not a casing.
Okay.
My lovelies in chat, can you still comment or has YouTube started deleting it again? Someone let me know.
So, per the evidence list, there is 11 casings recovered, fired casings recovered.
Okay. And were all of those, where were all of those casings located?
Okay, so Syndicate, you can still
Or
hear me and chat and see me.
To the best of my knowledge, or my recollection, it's been 3 years, was inside the room where the decedent was located.
Were there casings in any other part of the room?
Not that I can recall, no.
I'm putting underneath the.
Hold on, guys. Let me try something. 1 second. I can't tell if you guys are still here based on my chat
Can you describe for us?
or if it's
what
deleting
is in this
everybody's
photograph?
comments again that I can't see them.
That's a different angle of another photo. So where the circle's at, that's where the casing was found there. And then number 15 was on the bed. That's the canister, the bottle of mace that was in the decedent's hand.
Who took it out of his hand?
We'll ask OMI if they want to take it with them or if they want us to keep it, and they allowed us to keep it. So I don't remember if it was one of us who took it out of the hand or OMI, but we do get permission, and then we'll photograph it and package it as evidence.
I'm putting underneath the document camera stick exhibit 62. And what is this a photograph of?
More evidence located on scene. Looks like I can see about 4 more casings. Want to circle them?
Yes, sir.
There's also a
Okay, guys. So here's the deal. I see that it is apparently deleting comments again. We have, check my Discord. Hold on. apparently deleting things again. Let me check my Discord. Let me check. I'm not sure why it's deleting things. Let's see. Crockett.
Piece of the scope there.
And what is that identified?
Okay. I checked the Discord. Okay, so it's apparently deleting comments that people are trying to leave again. And it's pushing a little bit today. Hold on, we're gonna go to just Stephanie view. Okay, guys. So here's the deal. I'm not really sure what's up with why it's deleting randomness, and like I can't even see my own comment I left. So it has nothing to do with subscriber mode. I think it's because I've looked at the back end and I looked through the StreamYard. So here's what I'm going to do. We are going to end this for the evening. I am going to reschedule a stream for tomorrow morning. We are going to pick up a little bit before this, and then we are going to go into some of the absolute insanity that I know this idiot has today, because there's like 6 minutes left. So I appreciate you all for being here, all 15 of you. I love you, I love you, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm not sure what YouTube's issue is and why it is deleting things, because even if I go look at my live stream settings, things are wonky. So
As in the picture.
14.
we are going to reset this for tomorrow, and we're gonna reset it for tomorrow just because I want to be able to talk to you. Doesn't start up until 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Perfect. Hey, Gremlin. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna set it for the morning. We're gonna cover this, and then the morning stupid. And I'm gonna have Croco help me and people help me so we can figure out why it's deleting comments and being stupid. Thank you all for being here. You know, I love you, beasties. Stay safe. Have a great night. Sleep well. I love you. I love you, all my beasties. Thank you to the 16 of you that were here. Can't wait to see you guys in the morning, and we will resume. And Gremlin King and the people that watched me have an absolute meltdown in the chat get to watch me have an absolute meltdown on camera and scream at the camera. So, I love you, beasties. Have a great night. Go ahead and message me on Instagram. You can message me on Twitter. All of my stuff. Thank you, Gremlin King, and enjoy tomorrow. I will see you all in the morning. Thank you, my lovelies. Have a great night.